What is going on, my friends? We are on version 12.3.6 still. No version 12.4 yet. No download icon. No current hopes for getting the software before I move to Florida. Well, on that topic though, figured we're getting ready to head to the gym on North Island on the military base, and then after that I'm gonna get a bit more recording done, including a recommendation from a follower on X, Boom, regarding the 15 North around the 78. So we'll look at that a little bit later. That'll probably come out tomorrow or the day after. I want to be trying to get some good content out for y'all while we wait for 12.4 and progress on this move. We're gonna be taking the 163 south here after this light, so we're gonna need to actually get over. Technically this lane does go into an HOV lane, so we could stay in this lane. I guess we'll see what happens. Really looking forward to testing the no nag on 12.4, but I understand from what I've seen that won't really be able to do it with shades on, which could be a little annoying. Thankfully I've got the tinted windshield life, so you know, incoming light's not too bad. It won't be the worst thing ever to not wear sunglasses. All right, let's see. Will FSD get over? We're cruising kind of slow. It's identifying those lights there. Are we getting over? Are we staying in this lane? We're kind of undecided. Okay, really sort of sloppy no turn signal action there. Oh well. 163 is very backed up here, so we'll see if we actually merge into this properly. Nobody really lets anybody in over here. It's kind of a mess. This is often where accidents happen because of that. We'll just make sure we're not part of that statistic. Okay, we're coming up here kind of quick, and here's our point to get in. Looks like we are being led over too. Awesome. But yeah, I guess a little update. So the process for getting the house is going well. We're approved. We're in, we've done the first walkthrough, of course, remotely. My father and stepmother are helping me out big time with this. In fact, he's gonna be flying out, and my mother too, who's appeared on the channel once before in a video with the boss wife. We did a little ride a while back. I'll either link it in the description or put a little card in the corner if you want to see my mom experiencing FSD for the first time. But they're flying out to help us with the actual move process. Everything else is lining up really well. The house is well built in Central Florida. It's a 3-bed, 2-bath with a 2-car garage. All modern in a gated community with like Samsung appliances. It's a smart home. So yeah, definitely stepping up the quality of life improvement. So, and just to give you guys an idea, and I'll probably show more as we get closer to the move. I'll show you the house where we live now, and little tidbits compared to the house that I'm moving into. And you know, for obvious reasons, we're gonna keep some of the info private as far as, you know, where I'm at, you know, doxing reasons and such. But at least showing you, you know, the inside and what's going on. Actually got a Cybertruck right here that should pass us here in a second. My first one of the day. Also just got out of the house. Looking good. First class electric ink. See? That's the first Cybertruck I've seen putting like their business logo out, which is awesome. Oh, careful guys. Oh, he's right up on that bumper. I can't wait to introduce Mew here to the chaos of Florida. But yeah, I'm gonna show you all where CYBRLFT has been living, where myself and Mew and Bender and the boss wife, where Mew's been parked for the last 4 years that we've been in this little house. And so we've been in a little like 700 square foot home that was built in 1917, I want to say, because it was just over 100 years old when we moved in. And no air conditioning, no washer and dryer, no modern amenities really. It's kind of like a guest house on the side of like a main building. And a lot of the areas of San Diego are built like that. Just these homes that are like $1 to $2 million were built almost 100 years ago, over in some cases. And I'll show what we're going to from that, which we're currently paying about $2,000 a month to live in, to my house, which with the paperwork finalized, I'm going to be paying $2,200 a month for a 3-bed, 2-bath and all. So similar payment monthly, but for much more, which I'm very excited about. And that also means home charging. I've had a few people ask if I'll actually be able to charge at home now, and very much I'll be able to. I actually got my charging cable that came with the car, you know, because we got ours before Tesla stopped including those, and we'll be taking advantage of the home charging right away from the 110s, and then eventually, once we're settled in a bit, I am going to upgrade to the 240 volt system. That my wife will never have to charge superchargers unless she's like really going on long trips. I still will, because I plan to go around and do Uber and Lyft and bring this content to the Floridian folks and show them Tesla, especially because it's not as prevalent in Florida. I noticed when we were on our road trip, once we got into like Eagle Pass, Texas, the only time we saw really any EVs was at or very near superchargers when we were stopping. So it'd be really cool to kind of bring this experience to people that aren't used to seeing it every 5 seconds like you are in California. Really looking forward to that. I am also going to document the trip, which is why I mentioned Mom and Dad coming out to help us out, because we're going to throw Mew here on a full auto carrier, and I'm going to tow it behind a 15-foot U-Haul truck. So what's cool is, like, if anybody has questions about the expense or how it was moving across the country with 2 Teslas and what we did, I'm going to try to document as much as I can. I'll share some of it kind of sort of not necessarily live, but you know, more in real time on X. So if you're not following me there, same handle, CYBRLFT. Careful of the posers that have started to pop up acting like me. I guess it means I've gotten somewhere, right? But I am going to document it and probably make some actual videos kind of showing a sort of vlog style road trip and how it was. We did this road trip intentionally back in November to see family, so we've already gone through this once. We weren't expecting to do this drive again so soon, but at least this time it's for a good reason, you know, going home to our home. FSD's been handling this traffic pretty well, so I've been kind of sort of ranting, giving you all an update on what's going on because of just all the craziness in life. The house buying process has been really just a whole lot of waiting. If you've got the military VA loan and you're buying a new construction build, you get around a lot of the big expenses like closing costs and such. All I had to do was basically wire over a refundable $1,000 to hold the property during the underwriting process. And the rest is going really smooth. You know, it's been a good experience. The most expensive part of this endeavor is actually going to be the physical move across the country. We've priced out all the options from like pod storage, having things shipped, to us just doing it all ourselves. And the storage and sending stuff across the states is anywhere from $7,000 to $10,000. It's a lot of money. And where we live, they can't even drop the pods container because just the California's rules about street parking and such. But we're gonna do a U-Haul combo. That ended up being the best deal. It's about $4,000, just under $4,000 for the 15-foot truck and the auto carrier, the trailer, for about 10 days worth of use, which we won't need it for that whole time, really just 4 or 5 days, maybe 6 at the most. So factoring that in plus gas, it's about $5,000 to physically move across. So that's what I've been trying to do, is just work and get that taken care of, and I'm on track to have that all good. So no worry, we're good. We've got this in the bag. We planned it out really well. Got this guy racing up on my left, hopefully fast enough to complete this pass, or now you're gonna have to hit your brakes because you're not all that intelligent. Good job, buddy. I mean, this lane is kind of a gargantuan lane that sort of has to merge here, so I'm gonna just keep my eyes on stuff before I keep rambling. There we go. And if some of you are new to this information, in June 18th to be exact, my wife and I were served a 60-day notice to vacate because our property, or not our property, the place we're renting out of came under new property management, who are planning to tear down and renovate, and it's just kind of a SOL sort of situation. So I took it as the catalyst to finally make the big move rather than just pushing it off year after year after year, because I've got no ties to California. I was only here from the military. My wife and I's family are all on the East Coast, and it's just too expensive. Like, trying to get a house out here is just not on the cards. So long story short, decided to make that the move, literally. So back home, that's where I was born and raised. That's where my family is. Nieces and nephews, folks I haven't seen in years. So that's really cool. And I'll be positioned kind of right in between the really hot spots for tourism too, and not immediately in the chaos. Ooh, I like the early right lane maneuver. That's not very characteristic, but it didn't commit. Oh, it's so annoying. We should have stayed there. This is the constant problem with this exit if you've seen me do this sort of run in the past. But are we actually gonna get over in time? Boom, that's an improvement. Usually it takes too long and I gotta help it out before this splits off. We'll see. It's a Saturday, so I don't think we'll see a little sign if it says if we're on the 3-lane side or the 2-lane side. We'll see how we behave near the median, which is questionable sometimes. But yeah, I'll be living south of Orlando, not too far from Tampa as well. So I'll probably get a lot of customers going to Busch Gardens, Universal, Disney World, and of course the airport, Legoland. I'm kind of sort of around all that stuff, which is really great for the channel and for potential content. There we go. I've had a few folks ask if I'll try to meet up with Chuck Cook and such, and I think Bearded Tesla is out in the Orlando area as well. So I'm fully open to meeting and talking FSD and doing the hardcore tests with Chuck and all that, but we're gonna need a little time to settle in and Maybe we'll be able to set something up. I'll reach out to Chuck at some point. I know he was saying he'd be excited to do that too. I can actually visit that legendary left turn in Mew, and I'm planning on keeping Mew. You know, kind of a blessing in disguise as well, since I'm actually going to have a driveway and a 2-car garage. I can actually afford to keep Mew with us, even if I do get the new Model 3 or the Cybertruck or whatever, because I'll have space, and I can probably rent Mew out through Turo or something, keep him in the family. But yeah, Mew's sticking with me, which I'm actually really happy about, as it had been pretty emotional getting rid of this car after all this time together. It's more like a member of the family. As lame as that might sound to some, it is what it is. That's how I am. And 12.3.6 has handled this drive really well, as I've just kind of rambled on updating you guys. We're still on track to be leaving at the end of the month. Plan is to depart on the 1st, and we should be able to arrive at the new house by Saturday night with the way we've got this mapped out. So that's exciting, and the days are moving on. I am really impatient. I wish it was already the end of the month so we can just get this over with, because the waiting and packing and all is probably the biggest bummer. But it's okay. Every day gets us a little bit closer, and I've got a pretty good feeling that I should be able to focus on getting some more consistent content out the last couple of weeks. That way the channel doesn't really experience any sort of stagnation, and I don't get punished too hard by the algorithm. There we go. Shouldn't do that last minute. That was kind of pointless. Handled the little pseudo toll booth very well there. And I I can't go on actual base with the cameras, so as we get close we'll conclude and I'll pull the cameras down. I'll have to see if I've got any base access around where I'm gonna live. That's how I've been going to the gym. I don't pay for a gym membership. I just utilize the base gym, which is actually really nice. One of the perks of being a disabled veteran, having that base access. Cool, we're staying in our lines here, and that's better than a lot of people that roll through here, especially how impatiently people drive around. I am planning to do a final RoboTaxi report as well before we head out. And only final in the sense of covering California, of course. The RoboTaxi report and data is going to continue in Florida. I just want to do like a final look at, you know, California, and hopefully have had a little bit of time at least to test 12.4 point whatever comes to me. I know a lot of you are waiting, and I even asked on X if anyone with hardware 3 has 12.4, and people do, so it's not a hardware limitation, it's just kind of the bad luck of the rollout. I did also kind of recently update my account with new emails and such to change some things, so I don't know if maybe that interrupted stuff on the back end, but I'm pretty sure it's by VIN number. I'm not certain though, so I'll probably see the update at some point. I really want to test out the no nag part of it, and really just want to see if we've restored any of that lost ground on RoboTaxi results, because 12.3.6 up till now is still kind of hanging around 70%. It's not as good as the earlier 12.3 builds that were at like 88, 90, 84, you know, the higher percentages. Hopefully 12.4 brings us back up a bit. Really curious to see how those results will translate in Florida. I'm looking forward to actually being able to get a whole new regional sample size of data. It's got the geek in me just very much excited. That's probably about all she wrote here for this. Just a straight line until we actually get on to the military base up here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the update on my situation and what's going on, and my plans to keep putting out the content. And are we trying to anticipate pedestrians here? No, we're random little slowdown. Okay, we're good. Cool. It's done really good at sort of being able to tell if a pedestrian's about to lunge into the road or not. But I am going to go and wreck my body for a little while and get some more things recorded, and catch you guys in the next video. Take care.